My name is Inokasari, but I'm known in the media as Feeling Daddy.
Hi, my name is Samuel Benedict Osubidiako. This is the first time I'm giving my full name.
My name is Ralph Menz.
Hi everyone, my name is Sayvee Ajika, aka Godogalaman.
Run at Focus Multimedia.
But everybody knows me to be JM Caesar,
aka Corp Sayvee.
I'm a chartered management accountant by profession, in case you don't know.
And in the past, we've had some artist managements under our sleeves.
Well, I work with Sky Media for the past 21 years.
Because I have been in the music industry for close to about 20 years.
I also am an internal auditor for our sister companies.
I'm the business manager of Empire FM and Radio 360.
So I'm the leader for the Corp Nation Group.
In my view, I think that not all talents are real and worth investing in, because some of them will come out just by way of opportunity. They will just come out with one song, and then after, you don't get to hear about them again. And such a person, if you should put your money in or try to invest in the person, you get to lose at the end of the day. To me, talking about such a person would be maybe Patapaa. We all get to hear about Patapaa when Swedru people were celebrating their festival, and that one dance thing, one corner dance came up and it was trending on social media. I believe that it was the dance that was trending on social media that promoted the song, and the song became a hit. You and I will agree that after, we've not heard any good song from Patapaa, and other songs that he has featured on, it was just based on those talents' works that made him popular on those songs. So I don't believe that all talents are real. Some too, by hearing of them the very first time, or by hearing about them the very first time, you get to realize that, no, this person has a talent in him or her. And if you have to spend on such a person, because you can identify him or her blowing in the near future, you wouldn't mind. So yes, some are real, some I don't think are real. Some by chance, they come out and become popular. Some, you can invest in them, and then in future, you can bring back your investment. I am of the view that some are real and some are not real.
First of all, my understanding of talent is your ability, or a person's ability to do something without being taught. So yes, most talents are real, but there are a good number of talents too that are not real. Some people are able to sing or rap or do other things by way of learning. And if you learn to do, first of all, it's not talent in quotes. And that is to say that such a fellow has a long way to go as compared to somebody who has the natural talent. And even if you've got the talent also, it could be real, yes. But then the fact that it may not be fit for the competition, if I should say, makes it not worth investing in, because it takes so much to invest in talent and in production, promotions, and the likes. So definitely not all talents are real, and among the real talents too, not all of them are worth investing in. Some talents need polishing. Some talents need upgrade, if I should call it. You could be a good rapper, but then let's say you tongue twist. Today, tongue twisting is not really the thing for the people. So what do? You then have to modify it. So that's just an example to give on that.
Talents are worth investing in if one or two things work together. Actually, talents are skills that are within that needs to be earned for people to see. And some of us assume that we are talented enough and that we know everything. We don't want help, and that's where the problem lies. But if you humble yourself and you let someone help you to unlock your talent to the potential and to the fullest, that is when the benefits come of it. But there are a lot of people who don't understand this. Once they think they can do something, they are just about, on top of the world. They think they know everything. They are not prepared to listen to any advice. They are not prepared to listen to any suggestions. And that, I'm afraid, will not help. But if you are able to let someone harness your talent and bring it to the fullest, then it's worth investing in it.
Are all artists real and worth investing in? No. It's like we all knowing how to sing. We all go to church. We know how to sing in parts and all that. You might have joined a choir and you might have had a chance to perform in school during your entertainment time and done some reality shows. It doesn't make you a musician, because the whole business of being a talent goes beyond just knowing how to sing. It's your character, it's what is engraved inside you that makes you to become a real artist, because it goes beyond just the talent. There's a business side to it, there's your character side to it, and then your talent. So if you are not able to combine all these, forget it. You can't. It's not real. You can never be that real artist that anybody will be willing to invest in you. What I realize is that most of our Ghanaian artists don't know the business side. So they usually tend to have issues with management when it comes to contracts. Some of them even sign contracts they don't even read through. The point is that it's a contract, it's a legal document. So if you can't understand it, you get someone who can help you to get it. But people rush to sign these contracts without thinking about it, and later it comes back to bite them in the butt. Whilst growing up, if you thought that you helping your mother to sell at the market makes you an entrepreneur, you're wrong. The same way has to do with artists. If you can do one or two, or even write a song and help people to get some things done, you think that you can get out there and make a hit, forget it. It's about 10% of those who have the talent actually get discovered, and half of that have the know-how and the knowledge that they acquire along the way to be able to become real. So if you're a new artist and you're out there and you want to say that you want to hit in the next few years and you don't know all these things, you need to upgrade yourself and get yourself informed properly, else you're just wasting your time. What makes you an artist is your talent. It's what you're bringing to the table, to the people that want to listen to you, people that you want to work with you in your management. So if that part of you is not nurtured, eventually you will die off and no one would remember you, become irrelevant in a very short time. So it's just like any other work. If you don't have the experience, how would you be able to get out there? The only thing for you to be able to make it is for you to practice, practice, practice. It means that if you're a songwriter, you need to write more, because the point is, the more you do it, the more you know. If you want to be an on-stage performer, it means that you need to go out there and learn how to dance. Your stagecraft should be top-notch. You will not sleep and wait till the day of the events or to be on stage before you want to try some new moves. No, it doesn't work like that. So it has to do with also the kind of songs and the way you sing, because your voice will get used to your lips based upon how many times you have practiced your act. So if you decide to be lazy and do other vices and think that you are going to be out there after some time just because you have had one or two hits, it doesn't matter. For an artist to be very important to society, you need to be relevant over a very long time. That is why we still mention names like Daddy Lumba, Kojo Ntwi's, Michael Jackson's, and the rest, and we still say that they are legends. How can you, as an artist, be a legend? If you don't work hard, you will never get there.
But what really is a talent? This is one of the questions that has been answered by a lot of people in diverse ways. And the dictionary, various types of dictionaries define talent as something you can do it effortlessly without being trained or without having any formal training. But let's say you just came to the world with it is a spiritual gifting. And to know your talents, I think there's the acronym SHAPE that really helps everybody to identify what their talent is. So the SHAPE acronym, the S is spiritual gifting, the H is heart, the A is abilities, the P is personalities, and the E is experience. So all these SHAPE come together to really build you up, to really harness your talent well. And there has been a lot of ways where people have blown into the scene, have come onto the scene where we think they don't have talent, but it just went well for them. And this has been a debate. We can mention countless number of names, and there are some names who are very talented but didn't make it or haven't made it yet. So how do you really harness your talent in this age of social media, where a lot of people have the avenue to reach a lot of people online, and to get the right channels, you'll be able to really get what you want out at ease. There have been a lot of people who have been made stars, and we are in the era of fast food stars, fast making stars. So sort of akin to fast food making, where in just seconds, in minutes, people are able to become stars. Yeah, so if we are to really harness our talent, if you are to make the best use of our talent, I think one of the things we have to pay attention to is the fact that we all need somebody. We are all interdependent. Even in the Bible, I remember in Genesis, when God was creating human beings, he called that, let us create man in our own image. He required the effort of others there. I'm sure with the angels or any other people who were there. So we all need somebody here. So if we are created in the image of God, then we have to make good use of our talent, because it's the only creature that God created. All other things he spoke into being, and human beings are the people he created. So I personally think that we all need somebody.
Well, my advice to the artists that can shape their dreams and, of course, their aspirations is that you should be able to manage your brand very well. From the scratch, you should know the kind of target that you want to appeal to. If you want to target the corporate world, you should know how to manage yourself. If you want to go to the streets, then you know the kind of songs you have to do. If it's about gospel, then you should be identified by the gospel fraternity. You should know the target market of your talent. And I think that if you are able to do that, when you are identified by your talent group or target market, you get to blow. And I think that is my only advice I can give to artists that can help them shape their dreams. Know who you are targeting. Know who you are targeting. If it's gospel, you know who you're targeting. If it's high life, if it's dance hall, you know how to target that market and do songs that can suit that market, so that they can identify you with them, and then they can make you who you want to be in future. So know your target market and then work towards that.
From my experience, especially having been an artist, my experience tells me that not every artist, no matter how good or bad you are, not every artist is able to make it in the business or in the whole show. So for me, I think that whilst you pursue your talent, you should look at planning your life holistically and let you pursuing your talents be part of it. Why? Because a lot of times those who make it successfully, they end up doing business to support what they do. So if I were you, if I want to be, a big artist, I would be wise enough or maybe smart enough to start some sort of business, so that when I make it big, with the music, not going to start from the scratch in terms of doing business. By then you would have a lot of experience, and when the monies are coming, you can easily, and with your connections, you can expand your business easily, you can do more. So I think that when you are having your dreams or making your dreams and aspirations, as an artist, you need to look at it very well, because sometimes you can also be very good, but something very little could fetch you that you've not yet discovered, could fetch you money and even fame more than the music talent that you've discovered today. Some people are multi-talented, so it tells you that even when you see your talents, there is still more to try and discover. So Mark Zuckerberg probably could start singing in some early days in his life, but something else, being an invention, made him who he is today. So I think that we should all plan our lives in the bigger picture.
Listen, one of the things you have to realize is that the number one starts from one and counts up. There are a few people who, when they come and they drop a single, takes them to the pedestal. That one is an exceptional one. But there are others, you have to humble yourself and go through the paces and go through the lessons before you get to the top. Listen, it happens, even those of us in the radio industry, there are some people who come and seek to work for free without being paid. They learn on the trade. And when they become superstars, as we call them, then they cannot be afforded to be missed. And the same goes with these young guys who are into the musical industry. Take your time. Learn on the job. There are frustrations in everything that you do, but don't rush. I've had a couple of experiences with some of you guys, programs when you have called them to come and perform. And instead of them to ask what it's about and what do I benefit out of it after the show, the first thing they ask is, how much are you paying? And that is not right. You don't have a single, you don't have a hit song. We just want to put you on the stage for everybody to see you. Yes, you'll be paid something, but don't let money be your focus. That is one of the things that they do that really let them down. And it's a serious problem with that. So my piece of advice to you is that humble yourself, learn on the trade, reach where you're supposed to be. Then it'll be impossible for any producer or any company or radio station to call you to come and perform without paying you. So take your time and reach the top. After all, what are you in this for? To make fame, to be rich, and also to be recognized. But then hard work pays. You cannot just sit up and one day just play a song or being heard your song or being played on the radio station and think you have arrived. No. The Michael Jacksons and the rest, they take their time. That's why they write music. They learn on the job. They work with the right people, political connects. And by doing so, you get to the top. So take your time, please. Your time will come.
If I were to advise artists or new ones coming, I'll tell them, Jack, go get a job first. Start making money on your own. Get to know how money is made and how to manage it, so that when you get your act right and you're out there doing some real music, you can know how to manage yourself. Because the music industry is not just about singing and thinking that you have a hit song and that's it. It goes way beyond it. It's a business. If you think that you're doing it as a hobby, then that's fine. Have 1 or 2 hits and go and sit with your mom. If you feel like you want to do it real time, you need to learn. Learn like you are doing any other form of discipline, like a degree in marine engineering. You need to know all that goes into it. So if you think that music is your thing, you need to learn its management, how contracts are signed. It means that you need to learn something about contracts of law and torts. You need to understand how management of the whole music business is, how show business is, how PR works. All these things comes into play. Even now, we call something social media marketing. You as an artist, you need to know all these things. Well, if you are signed to a label, the label will handle them for you. But if you understand it and you're doing it wrongly, you can also advise. And if they're also not, you can also advise management as to the kind of image you want to create for yourself. Because if you don't know all these things and you think that you may be able to write song and make hits makes you an artist, no. This goes beyond just that. You need to do more than that. You need to be able to like I said earlier, practice it. Learn what it takes to be here. Because one thing, most artists that makes hits, 1, 2, 3, tend to create a particular image for themselves. So at a point in time, they tend to show up to appearances, because people expect them to look some way, to be in certain areas in some way. They can't even take throttle. They can't even take taxes. It means that they have to show up. And showing up is not easy. So if you think that having 1 or 2 hits makes you a star so you can be out there to do all these things, it will not work. You need to understand that it takes a lot of work to be able to get there. And I'll tell you, a lot of people who say that they are interested in a particular kind of act or a business, is about 10% of them who actually make it. So the fact that you also think that you think that, oh, I can do a few things and I'm a new act, please make sure you're going in there with all your all. And make sure that you should be ready for the bumps, because it takes a very long time for a lot of artists to be able to break through.
I've talked about how to brand yourself, especially when you have the target market in mind. Have a very good relationship with the industry players. That is one. If you have a very good relationship with industry players, promoting you wouldn't be an issue. They will always be there for you, because you need those people. Second advice, don't play with social media. Now, social media is the new world order. Just use social media to promote yourself. The YouTube, the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, these are all platforms that can take you to the global platform. Just use that to your benefit. It's not everything that you should post on social media. Create pages that can promote your brand. And I think with time, it will yield fruit. Thirdly, plan well and come up with good songs. Write good songs. Because sometimes it's not about going to pay payola to DJs to play your song. If you do good songs, they will go out there themselves to download or request from their friends to play it for you. So I've given you 3 advice. Brand yourself well, use social media properly, and then do good songs. If you're able to do this well, I can promise you that you will get to wherever you want to get to.
So in the area of personal conduct, my advice is very simple. I think that in order to be sure of your conduct, to make sure it falls within the expectations of everybody you would engage in the media or in the industry at large, you just have to portray yourself or your conduct as you would do when you find yourself in the chief's palace. You can have a feel, or you can imagine what it will be like for you to find yourself in the chief's palace for whatever reason or whatever purpose. You will definitely be of good conduct. If you are a churchgoer, you should put yourself in the position as somebody who has met his or a priest or the man of God. If you are a Muslim, you should also imagine dealing with the imam or the sheikh, and you wouldn't need any much effort for you to put up a good conduct. That's how simple I will make it. And sometimes you could, let's bring it down to our family setting. It could be your ebusia penyin or your grandfather and the likes, so that your conduct will be shaped by virtue of the imagination that you have in mind, and then also the respect that you are kind of mandated to accord.
This is one area I would like to share my opinion as a personal, situation I had with one of these artists. But I'm not mentioning any names, so obviously I need to be a little bit decor on this one. Listen, the way you behave towards some people will go a long way to affect you. Because if you become snobbish, or you think you can just insult somebody like me, just because I'm the chairman of the Western Music Awards and you expect to win an award but it was given to somebody else, which is based on voting, you're more or less, causing trouble for yourself. Because what it means is that not only will I not be able to speak to you or you getting closer to me, even if I see your work, I might just close my eyes and walk away. But meanwhile, I could easily say by word of mouth to other people to listen to your ways and will take you somewhere. I honestly always say that there are some artists, when I see them, or even when I'm there on my own, I call them just to ask how they are doing. I've been friends with these artists for the past 20 years. But the way they conduct themselves, the way they even approach you, is a plus. And you become friends with them. You are urged to play their songs even when you don't even hear from them. But the behavior of our people, your dressing, your demeanor, the way you carry yourself in public, and especially when you're going on stage, dress and be a little bit decent. Don't just wear anything anyhow, because you never know who is watching you. Now that the world has become a global village, you might be performing on a small stage here, and somebody in the US will be watching you. Who knows? Maybe he might like your song. But to get to know you better through someone else, your attitude and your behavior might not be well communicated to the person, and that might block your chance. So I appeal to you young guys. Take your time. Dress well. Be very, very well composed, because you're in the public eye and everybody is watching you. Don't just do anything anyhow. Always remember that at the back of your mind, there are eyes watching you. And how you carry yourself will take you very far.
Right, has to do with conduct. I mean, the only character of an artist is humility. Both on stage, both in public, and both in private. You don't necessarily have to tell yourself that because you have made some hits, you are there. No. People should know you for off stage or off being a musician or an artist to the same as being a person. If you have two different characters, in fact, it can disturb you, because if you create an image for yourself that feels like, oh, there's a good boy, but backdoor you are doing some crazy vices that society will not agree with. Because at the moment that you become a star, you have become a role model to a lot of people. And people look up to you. Even the kind of things you suggest to people can influence people's lives. So the character bit is very, very important. If you decide to be a bad boy and you want to be known for that, it's up to you. Make sure you're a bad boy both on stage and both off, because it can affect your acts. So if you want to be a good boy but you don't have a mixture of it, make sure you level it perfectly, and then people can understand, oh, wait, there's a not here. Look at somebody like Shatta. People know him for what he is. He doesn't fake it. Everyone knows that that's how it is. But if you're that person that you come on stage, you grant interviews and you act like a good boy, but backstage you're a bad boy, forget it. It will not help you. If people get to know that is, you have a double-sided personality, they would brush you off and you would die, and within a small number of time, you become irrelevant. Stay blessed.